Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is the recap of round 5 from the Sinquefield Cup, and as all games were drawn in this round, I opted to pick the one that I thought was the most exciting chess, and that was the encounter between Mamedyarov and Fabiano. So that is the game on the menu now, and on the menu is the so popular Ragozin with bishop b4, an opening that is seen quite a lot actually on top level. And here Mamedyarov makes the terrible mistake of taking on d5 instead of following my recommendation of queen a4 check from the d4 beginner course for Chessable. On a more serious note though, of course c takes d5 is also a theoretical continuation. However, bishop f4 here is quite a rarity. And in fact, we are going to find ourselves surprisingly quickly out of book in this game. Knight e4 was played, rook c1 was played, queen e7, and after knight d2, there are only 2 games in the database for master games. So that is hugely unusual on top level chess, that after a mere 8 moves, you are essentially more or less out of theory. That is just something else. That being said, and this is a little bit of a spoiler for you, it's only one of the 2 players who is out of theory here. And if you look at the clock situation, you can already see what's going on here, but I'm going to elaborate this on this a little bit later. So knight d2, knight takes, pawn takes, bishop a3, and rook b1 are very natural moves here. Castles e3 and g5. Now that is the type of chess I really love to watch. Non-compromising, aggressive, going for the throat type of chess. A lot of club level players would be beyond reluctant to play a move like this, claiming that this weakens the black king, which of course is only one half, if that even, of the story, because the more important half is that actually the white king, down on e1 is a lot more exposed and a lot more problematic than the one on g8. And in fact, the entirety of this game is going to revolve around the relative vulnerability of the white king, not the black one. f4 is now a game-winning threat, and in fact here Mamedyarov's hand was forced to play bishop e5 and then clog up the position in a bit of a stonewall fashion with pawn f4. Now we are now well and truly out of theory, and Caruana's clock still shows extra time. The Americans' preparation for this game was impeccable, but once again I'm going to comment on that in a little more. Knight takes c5 was played, and black played f4. Remarkable aggression, again showcasing whose king is really on the menu here, and white needs to be very precise here with his play. Now the 2 most obvious bishop moves are e2 and d3. d3 was played, but the engine prefers bishop e2. Now I wanted to test myself out a little bit, so I looked at how bishop d3 in the game went, and I found out that this is what happened in the game. And quite frankly, I really don't like this for white. But as it turns out, this is actually almost a forced draw. So I tried to understand why bishop e2 in this position is an improvement. And very quickly I recognized that the idea was that, of course, recognized with the help of the engine that is that if they take on e3, after knight f1, c5, knight e3 takes, I can now take with the queen. And that is a world of a difference, because A, that means there is no check here to deny my castling rights. 2, the d5 pawn is going to fall. And 3, I'm even going to have a knight on f6. Now this should be compelling enough and convincing enough to think that, oh yeah, white is absolutely smashing it out of the park. But boy, the 2 bishops, in particular the one on a3, is a legendary beast. And after b6, black actually can just casually ignore all of this, tuck the king away on h8, and rely on the power of the dark squared bishop coming to c5. Rook d1, bishop c5, queen d3, bishop e6 is the engine's line, claiming white's advantage. But man, I would pick this position almost certainly as black. Like, black is a pawn down, But I find that this position is so much easier, at least at first sight, to play for black. Yeah, this is rough, man. This is rough. I'm sure that this was also something that Caruana looked into in great detail, and my reasoning for believing in that is because even after bishop d3, the American kept on blitzing out his moves, which were mighty impressive, by the way. And after the check on b4 and king e2, queen f7 is already a mate in one threat. That tells you a lot about which king is actually more vulnerable. So, and here queen g1, this extremely ugly move, is the only move for white to stay in the game. That is quite mind-boggling, actually. Interestingly enough, bishop takes h7 with the idea of vacating the d3 square is really not that great, because after queen takes, rook takes b4, lo and behold, it's now the other bishop that is going to claim a fair deal of glory in retaining the white king as the #1 target of proceedings in this game. Really, really cool line, again, to showcase the potential in black's attack. And so queen g1 was forced. Rook f1 would lose to check, takes, and check. And we are losing at least a knight. So that's also a big no-go. And so queen g1 had to be played. But now white gets away just by the skin of his teeth, because the bishop is hanging. And upon bishop moves anywhere, we get to trade down a bucket load of pieces. And that's exactly how this game went. Take. Bishop takes d4. And the game fizzles into a very drawish endgame. Now, what's absolutely mind-boggling is the fact that in this position, Caruana is still in positive time. So he spent still no time whatsoever on his clock, whereas Mamedyarov used half of his. So I reckon that their prep, or Caruana's prep, would have stopped somewhere here, thinking that black is a pawn ahead, unlikely to win, good enough, let's stop here. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the 21st century superb, over-the-top level preparation demonstrated to you by one of the best in the business. It is just remarkable. Like, holding the top end of a draw with black without spending any time on the clock against the world-class grandmaster, the level of Mamedyarov, is nothing short of amazing. So, whilst most people would look onto this as a boring draw, if you actually try to look a little bit deeper and you pay attention to all the details, then we can find some amazing connections here, such as that more than likely the whole game was already at home on Caruana's chessboard, which in many, or to many, means that, well, that's just that was not a chess game, then was it? It was all prep work. But I respect hard work, and I respect someone who, you know, can nail to this level an opening preparation. In my book, that is one of the highest level of chess science. So kudos to Caruana. In the end, as I said, it fizzled out into a draw, but nonetheless, I found this game highly instructive and very inspirational for those who actually value homework, home preparation, learning your openings. It is just really, really awesome to see how easily it can yield you easy half and very often full points. On this note, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to call this off now. Today, for you, I guess it's tomorrow or whatever the case, Australia time zone is weird. So rest day is to come. So we will take a rest day, or rather the players will. And I will be back with round 6 very soon. So stay tuned. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to comment, to like, to sub. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.